Scotty's not always like 100%, got to win, right? Well, I've been on the receiving end of Scotty coming out of pit lane at Phillip Island and doing a right turn and fencing me like he can get on and have a bit of a laugh as well.
Yeah, I was bird watching then. Sorry about that. I just grabbed the throttle.
Obviously, you're not Chaz's teammate.
Oh,
this
you took
year.
my question. Damn it.
How tempted were you to just return serve after Bathurst last year? Seriously.
I'm pretty keen to kind of get one back on the scoreboard for me, but I thought it was probably best to not do that and just try and beat him fair and square. But pretty funny. I don't know what it is, but like Chaz and I, we are always racing. Doesn't matter where we qualify. It's just, we're always side by side. There's magnets in the cars, I think.
As you said, Noons, there is a lot of podcasts out there and we all need to keep the lights on.
I agree wholeheartedly. One day we could all be together under one roof and we just record one big podcast and we can all have the rest of the week off.
Did you have a sim, Dave? Like, did you actually have a sim at home?
Myself and Dan Gaunt had one like probably 10 years ago for maybe a couple of months, and we played it like twice and just packed it in. It was not for us. We go to the pub and drink beers instead.
Play Daytona.
When stuff opens back up again, let's go hang out.
The drivers were up in arms because they had to go to Bathurst without a warm-up enduro last year. Imagine going to Bathurst without having driven a car since
And they'd be hanging from the trees.
You'd have to watch it, wouldn't it? Because, I mean, if you're
you'd have
6
to watch
seconds
it.
coming into the chase on the last lap, and it is the championship and the Bathurst 1000 and all in one, you're not going to go, well, I'll just slot into second and consolidate here, eh?
Yeah, enjoy this E-Series coming up. I will be bringing up the rear, don't worry about that. But enjoy that, and then, let's get the cars back and try and get as quick as we can.
Maybe we can get you a Super Nintendo controller or something rather than the new fancy pants ones.
I think that's the last time I played a video game was the Super Nintendo, so I'm in a bit of strife.
We know that one Jet Johnson has been sitting on the simulator trying to have a crack at his old man's lap time. Have you ever sat in a sim, Dick? If you did it, how good were you?
Let's put it this way, the sims that we used, or should I say the video games we used years ago, were certainly nothing like they are now. Mate, the last thing I played was Pac-Man.
It is quite different, isn't it, mate? Because you've got no feel. You've got to rely on, obviously, what you see. And let's be fair, you and I, our eyesight's probably not as good as what it was back 20 years ago.
I think the only benefit of e-racing is when you have a crash, it doesn't hurt anymore.
Control, Alt, delete. That's what you can do. You're walking around for like 2 hours wondering what was going on.
But have you been able to test? Have you tested since then?
Test. I've just been mowing the lawn. I haven't done anything. I actually rang my engineer the other day and I'm like, hey, Michael Caruso here, we used to work together about 3 months ago. Do you remember me?
Yes.
You've gone from the back of the grid and now you are back in a plum drive at Tickford. Congratulations. That's been a couple of big months for you.
Yeah, I think I'm the only guy that walk up and shake that fat-eating Chinese bloke's hand and say thank you. So for all this, I've only missed out on 2 practice sessions. So
We all stayed in the same hotel. I actually ordered my breakfast, lunch and dinner 2 weeks before the event.
Wow.
That's a
Which
dream
was
for
weird.
Steve.
It's not, because there could be an update in burgers by the time I get there. So I'm going to be spewing. If I miss the cheesy McChicken or something, I'll be buggered.
Exactly.
How bad is that? I raced for 20 years. Actually, I've raced for more than 20 years to get street cred, and I rock up to school for the kids and they think I'm a professional dancer. So one TikTok video made and you're set for life.
Given that the last few weeks, we won't obviously elaborate too much on the last few weeks, hasn't been kind to you.
Well, you say it's been no good, but we've still got 4th, which is all right.
I didn't say no good, I said it hasn't been
You've
kind.
got pretty high expectations, man.
Is it the Black Duck seat covers Commodore again?
Yeah, that's it. We've fed the ducks some bread this week and we're going to have a good weekend.
If it does rain, because we've seen some pretty big rain up there, how fast is Todd going to be in the wet with his with his duck feet? That's probably not a good thing to say.
It was raining today here at Townsville, so it could happen.
I love catching up with you boys always. We haven't talked about the little blow-up for our great finish, mate. Coming into pit
how
lane
good
and
was
being
it?
sold.
Raikkonen's team told him to come in, and so he fired into the lane, and then they're telling him to stay out.
I'm only in the pit lane.
you always think, oh, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It would have been nice to get a podium, all of them. But hey, look, it's one step at a time. time at the moment.
There's going to be a change in the circuit for this weekend. We're going to use, I think they call it the West Circuit. Explain what that's going to do, because everything I'm reading in the press, everyone's predicting higher tyre degradation and plenty of crashing this weekend. They're saying it's going to be a carnage fest.
Well, that sounds like a good time, doesn't it?
Another individual's just come bursting through the studio doors here.
I was going to say,
mildly
guys,
embarrassed.
Are you guys going to... I've been sitting here for 15 minutes. You guys going to let me ask a question? We're still hoping to do a race this year. We don't know where and when, but, we're, as a TCM category, we're still trying to get out this year.
Yeah, totally.
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry, was that a question? You waited 15 minutes for a question.
Oh, you guys
what an
you guys are so mean.
When you got home back to Melbourne, was it like, oh, honey, well done. Can you take out the rubbish and the lawns need mowing?
Well, I literally just did the lawns today, so that's like tick for one. I didn't get
Bathurst
home
champion
till
straight onto the mower. It doesn't
Straight-
matter.
hey, yeah,
It doesn't
it's
discriminate.
It's a Kubota too, so I should
Oh,
get
cool.
some money back from you guys.
Well done. Thank you, Mr.
We'll
Tan.
get some sort of deal back from you guys.
So, Wilbur, the announcement's been made. The social media's been done. What are you
Got the
looking
grand tour by Steve Johnson. It
You've
was
had the
awesome.
grand... Oh, yeah, Stevie J.
Stevie and I are about to start hitting the gym up already in there, aren't we, Steve-O?
Oh, it's always
That's the funniest
it's always
part
good
of
to
the
have a laugh.
interview I've
It's
had.
always
That's
great to have a
awesome.
laugh.
You just straight up with a set of bicep curls. He went straight in.
How'd you
Was
feel?
that
How
a
many reps?
bicep curl with a mid strength or with a full strength?